If you're over 40 and want to be the best version of yourself, Fit Over 40 with Coach Clarence is here to help. Clarence Ferguson is a seasoned loan officer, fitness expert, personal chef, and entrepreneur who leads a revolution of men and women who want to live their best life going into middle age. Inspiring dialogue, challenging topics, and industry leaders are here offering tips and how-tos to improve your life. Now, here's Coach Clarence.
Hey, welcome to Fit Over 40 with Coach Clarence. This is an exciting day for me because I've been wanting to interview Wendy for a long time because I agree with what she does, and I actually like the idea of her getting couples together because it's sexy when you cook together, when you plan meals together. So let's start from the beginning. How did you get in this business? And let's start there.
Well, hi, and thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I know we've been trying to connect for a long time.
Yes.
And we definitely resonate with health and wellness and, kind of fun sexuality, right? Because that's what it's all about.
Facts. Yes.
So I started my brand almost a decade ago. I can't believe it's
I know,
coming
and
up.
I've been following forever. So this is
I know,
great.
I love
I didn't have a
that.
show then. I just was like, that's cool. She cooks for couples, and I know you probably help some couples make their relationships better.
Definitely. I mean, that's what it's all about. I really started the whole brand with that, process in mind. I mean, it's just about, for me, food and love, really entice all the same senses.
So
it's all the same, really.
I know you're a mother. Tell me about your background. How'd you get into cooking?
I literally grew up in the kitchen with my mother and grandmother. They were both gourmet chefs. I was, believe it or not, extremely shy kid. And I was very introverted, and it was cooking was a way for me to I just related. My mother had beautiful gardens throughout our yard. We had everything. I had access to virtually every kind of fruit, tree, every kind of herb. So this really plays into the style of my cooking as well, because everything was, garden to table, basically. Very fresh. And my mother was very elegant, very glamorous. And she would have these beautiful dinner parties. My dad's an artist. So imagine I have this wild, artsy, wild dad with this beautiful, elegant woman who, would make these unbelievable dinners for it. We would have an eclectic table of people. And it was just such a visual for me. And I noticed when people would sit down and break bread, eat her food, which was always spectacular. And she would have me cook with her. So that's how I learned. I really learned. So it's very much ingrained in my soul. It has so much meaning to me. And yeah. I love it. And I love watching people that don't know each other sit next to each other, literally this close. You can't see because we're, but I don't know, a half a foot from each other right. And become intimate over food.
Right. And it's funny because in Black culture, food is where we, you brought up a term, break bread.
Yes.
That's where peace happened. That's where wedding announcements happen. That's where, Thanksgiving. And so I grew up in the kitchen same way with my parents owning a restaurant. It was called Wings and Things.
Oh, really?
And
Where
this was in California.
Oh.
This is in Stockton. They had a truck.
Wonderful.
And it was called Wings. It was worse, not healthy, but whatever.
But everyone loved it.
Right. Everybody loved it. So I learned.
Who doesn't like wings and things, right?
Exactly. So that was how we, did things. You bond over food and, so tell me kind of where you want to go with this thing you're doing. Sexy Chef.
That is a huge question.
I know.
It's ever evolving.
Sure.
Right? It's like whenever you start an idea, and it was an idea, and basically I took, I'd been cooking since I was a child. I started modeling as a child.
Yep.
So those two things I felt comfortable with, and I have great passion for. So I started the brand, and again, I was like, we're in a world of the phones and all the social media and couples that you go out to dinner and you see couples sitting together and they're both on their phone.
Yep.
And it just breaks my heart, And then you see so much discord with couples that have had children, because you start to divide, because women also, I feel for some reason after they have kids, they kind of step out of their sexuality. And this is where Sexy Chef steps in.
Explain that.
Well, I noticed that, for me personally, I always wanted to empower myself, even having children and after having them, as being a sexual woman, because I like that. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel feminine. And I love cooking. So always, for my husband and the men in my life, I would always, that's how I show my love, cooking. Wow. And I'd get dressed up, and but it's me, it's who I am. And it's probably just a lot of it is the influence of how I grew up and what I saw. And so I know you asked me where I'm going with this, but ultimately, if I were to have my druthers, it's really just about love. It's about bringing couples back together. It truly is. Out of a world that we know is insane. Yeah. Well, for all different reasons.
Right, for a lot of reasons.
And a lot of distractions. And back to mothers, and I'm one, so I'm not dishing on them, because I understand wholeheartedly. I understand the first baby, where you feel like, can I even get through the day and brush my teeth? Then the first month, how am I going to change their diapers? How am I even going to show up for myself, let alone look good for my husband when he comes home? So I know
you right now. Where have you been? Because I don't know women who talk like that anymore. I want to look good for my man and cook for him. This is great.
You thank my mother, right?
Yeah, mom is on point.
Thank my mother and my dad. Growing up with an artist is a trip, because he is a real, he thinks outside of the box. So. People say, well, what does your dad think of you with Sexy Chef and lingerie? I'm like, he loves it, because it's really just an expression.
Do you get hate mail from women? Like,
we were
talking about that earlier?
I told him, I said, if you have a brand and influencer and you aren't getting haters, then you better be worried.
I told this woman here.
I love my haters. I love them. And actually, I've converted a couple of them, and no joke. I've had some women go at me like no other, and just vicious. And I just retaliate. I don't retaliate. I go back. I never retaliate.
You ever ask them what bothers you?
Yeah, what is it? And maybe you don't understand what I'm doing. Like, I'm really not just a girl dressing up in lingerie doing selfies. That's not what I do. I have a clear brand and message. I have products. I have a restaurant.
And we're going to talk about those products in a second, because this looks good.
And I brought some women over that literally hated me, but then understood once I explained it. And I think that's the one disconnect on social media a bit.
But the funny thing is, they hate you because they're men like you, but it's like you could get in lingerie and do the same thing.
Yes.
You could cook dinner.
And
How about that idea?
I'm not objectifying myself at all. That's the other thing. It's about, I love being feminine. Men like to, some women like to be feminine and masculine. I love it. I love the femininity of being a woman. I think it's beautiful. So
you're so different. Can you clone yourself 1,000 times? Could you make her over?
Maybe we could do that. And that's the direction we're going in.
We're going to clone you.
I think Elon Musk was talking about the mRNA. You can basically change your RNA into become a butterfly. So we can just make a bunch of sexy chefs.
Sexy chefs, yeah. I'd love to come on, because I'm always doing the cooking.
I know. And it's something, though. It's just a mindset. It's a mindset. And I think, in my mind, I'm like, why wouldn't women want to hear what I have to say? I have 4 kids. I have had careers. I'll admit I'm over 40. But I take
How old are you?
I'm over 40.
I'm over 40 too.
I take very good care of myself, and I take pride in it. And I think it's okay for there shouldn't be shame in that, So the haters that don't like that, I think, rather than hate, if you want to live a healthy, vibrant life, maybe listen to 1 or 2 things I have to say. I could give you some tips.
Okay. I appreciate it, because I get the same hate. You could be out putting the most positive thing out in the world, and there's always going to be somebody who has something negative to say. That's just that's the business.
It's the nature of the world of the beast. It is what it is. And, I never respond negatively. I'll say something nice back to them, because you can't give that bad energy back, because that's not what we're about.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're about resonating and positivity. So that stuff is just, and the fun thing the fun thing is a lot of my followers will jump in and defend me.
Right.
And it's badass, and I love
know,
it.
you're like, yeah, get his ass.
I just let them duke it out. I just sit back, and there's like this whole feed. I'm like, yes, exactly. I'm not a bad person. I'm really not. Like, the message really is love. And it's I want to go back to mothers, because we keep walking away from that. Because I think when you meet your significant other or your spouse or whoever you end up being with, it's a chemistry thing. You're attracted to them. Mm-hmm. And possibly, you were dressed sexy, or you guys were like really, into that. And then you have kids, and then all of a sudden the mother, the woman feels she has to become this different kind of look or role, because I guess society decides that she has to look or act a certain way.
This whole interview just changed for me. Like, I'm going somewhere else. This is like the greatest interview ever, because she's like the right woman ever. Like, seriously, Wendy, like, where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from originally?
Okay, so I grew up here.
Okay, Phoenix.
That's
weird, because Phoenix usually sucks, but
it does suck. I left
like
when
the
I was
Suns,
No, it sucks. The
D-backs, the Cardinals.
I left when I was 17. I swore on my life I would never look back. I got scouted by a modeling agent. I went to LA, and I lived there most of my life. LA and Maui. So my family moved from here to Maui, and so I spent most of my time Maui, LA, New York a little bit. And I came back here a couple times, but most recently right before COVID. Yeah. And I'm grateful, actually, because
COVID did a lot for me as far as what I had planned. It definitely screwed some things up for sure.
It changed things, but for me, it gave me so much opportunity, and it helped me to grow. And I grew my brand even more. I mean, I opened a restaurant, for God's sakes, during COVID.
Talk about that.
I mean, who does that?
Talk about your restaurant.
What crazy sexy chef does that?
I don't know, but I want to go try it, because I'm looking at this menu here in front of me, and it looks delicious.
It all has a little bit of the South Pacific infused flavors in it. Mm-hmm. That comes from the Hawaii upbringing. So I was raised here, but we went back and forth to Maui and here quite a bit, and then they moved over there completely. And
sounds like a horrible life. I mean,
awful.
How Hawaii and Phoenix, awful. It's horrible.
Well, Hawaii was really bad. I mean, all the fresh air.
Yeah, fresh
and the ocean,
air, the ocean.
And the banana forest. I mean, gosh, who would like that?
Yeah.
So, I know it, but that really gave me another appreciation of love, beauty, the aloha spirit. It's all really, it's just beautiful. So the restaurant, I had this idea when COVID hit. I was thinking, well, wouldn't it be really cool? I saw all these drive-through restaurants. Wouldn't it be really cool to have a glass drive-through with the Sexy Chef experience? Girls, somewhat similar to me, and guys, like dressed, girls in lingerie, sexy guys, sexy girls, serving gourmet food at affordable prices.
Yeah.
With kick-ass music. But a drive-through, so you have the experience.
So you drive through and you're looking at a chick in lingerie.
May come out like even Chick-fil-A come out and say, "May I take your order?"
Yes, you can, babe. What do you need?
And one of my sponsors, they're Promise USA. These lingerie straps, you've probably seen them.
Yes,
I wear them. People are like, "Die."
And what's funny?
I'd have them with Wendy, those with the hot sauce
the best
bottle.
Shoes. Your shoes are the bomb. You always have great shoes. I'm like, do you really promote the product or the shoes? Because your shoes are bomb. You should be getting some shoe contracts.
It starts from the shoe up.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, I'll tell young girls, any girl this. This is a tip one. I don't care. Your outfit could be from, wherever, Fashion Nova for $20, but your shoes, make sure the shoes are kick ass. That's really and of course, men, they love it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky with the parents I was raised around. I mean, I had a very
I like the values, and this
feminine
is what
mother.
I wanted to talk to you, because I followed you for a while, and I know that you're deeper than the surface of pictures and lingerie, because that's all people see.
Yes.
So to have you explain the values, I think that's cool. I think it's really cool. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think every artist feels misunderstood, and I am an artist, and I feel. I really sometimes feel well, I don't understand why you don't understand. And so I do listen to people who give me pointers on things. So I try to do, I started TikTok a year ago, and it just kind of blew up. But I started doing live cooking.
TikTok. I'm just like, oh my God.
I did live cooking on TikTok, and I had like 20,000 people come through on my live cooking from my kitchen, and it was really cool because I'm like, now they get to hear me talk and they get to see me cook. Like, does she really? Because
they just see you as a
cook.
Physical thing. She actually can cook.
Yeah, I ran a catering business in LA where from 3 a.m. till 10 at night. I mean, I put my blood, sweat, and tears in this, and I'm like, people don't see it because I try to make it look glamorous. But it is. It's fun. I love the heck out of it. I mean, I enjoy it. It's totally my passion. If I could give people just a little ounce of how it feels to stand in the kitchen as a female, be sexy, stand with your guy, have fun, 100%. Cook with him.
Like, I mean, you're not saying nothing. This isn't a debate.
Put your phone down. Yeah, put your phone down. Let's get some fresh ingredients.
Absolutely.
Lemongrass. You cut lemongrass, right?
Oh my God.
And you rub it in your hands. You smell it. It's like heaven. And you know who we should have on her
with the garden girl.
And then coconut oil. I mean, come on. Yeah. We can use that for everything.
Yeah.
In the bedroom, in your kitchen.
Talk to me about this smoking Sexy Chef's hot sauce.
Do you like my girl?
I do.
That's
she
me.
Looks a little. Is that you?
Does she look a little like me? Yeah, I have a picture. I have a photograph of myself like that, and I had an artist
this probably
do the caricature.
Isn't on TikTok, right? Because this looks like a little for adults only.
TikTok is a little funny. I'll get girls who literally put their ass into the camera, and I'm conservative compared to that, but I have been taken off TikTok a couple times.
Really?
I've been smacked.
Just so you know, like me,
but I get back on.
I've done the shirtless cooking, and it has been good and bad, and I have had videos taken down too, so I get it. But it's like that's what women want. They cook with your shirt off and do the whole thing. That's fun. A fantasy. I don't know why people don't cook like that anymore. They don't cook for each other.
I think growing up in really warm climates too, and like in Hawaii, like I literally do wear a bikini and cook. I mean, I do.
Where do you live, by the way?
Where's your address?
This girl's perfect. Like, this is the best interview ever.
I also said, if you want to keep your husband, make sure your ass is looking good. That's what I was saying earlier.
Oh my God, I love this woman.
Earlier,
Jesus Christ,
when I was talking about my first daughter, I was horrified with myself because I'm like, Wendy, it was like a game. Like, how in God's name are you going to get dressed, have dinner on the table, and look hot by the time your husband comes home with the baby in arm?
God,
so it was like my mission.
You're not from Earth. You must be from a different planet or something. Because most women are like, look, I just work 8 hours, and look, this is what you get.
So I as I accomplished that, I would literally have my daughter in one arm. I'm like, okay, I'll do it with one hand, throw the heels on. And I think also from modeling, I'm used to like throwing like really cool shit into a bag, like my backpack. I can have like 4 pairs of shoes, roll up these clothes that are like this big, roll them up, throw them on, learn how to change quickly. You have to do that in the industry. So yeah, I have these skills. They're my skill sets that I acquired. So I use them to create my brand. And it just makes sense. And I like anyone doing a brand or anything that they want to do, make sure you fucking love it.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I can cuss on here, but just make sure you fucking love it.
Say it again. Fucking cuss.
Fucking love it. Because otherwise, like, what is the point? I mean, there is no point. And your motive cannot be money.
So
what
does your daughter want to do? Because I've seen
which one?
Oh, I've only seen one. Is there more?
Once in a while, I show her very, very rarely.
You're very private.
I'm very private.
That. Yeah, but I've seen your because I've been.
I have my youngest daughter wants to be a doctor, and she's definitely on that track. I mean, she's unbelievable student, ridiculous. Like we have literally every university calling on her
kind of
right
like
now.
my daughter. She's like a big volleyball star. All these teams are trying to pick her up. It's great. She's a straight A student. I love it.
Yeah, it's like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I'm like,
because I was in the clouds.
I was like, I was in the clouds,
like, exactly, partying, or I was doing, like, I was modeling at 14. I was like also very exposed to adult world very young. I'm not in a. Well, I don't know. Some people might think it's inappropriate to be 15 in a bikini having a 40-year-old photograph you, but it's for a magazine, So that's also another different way to grow up. So I wasn't like normal.
Well, I understand that because I've been modeling since I was a kid, so that doesn't weird to me.
It's not weird to us, but I'm just saying that like that's my reality, and my reality is maybe different from others. So everyone's reality is different, but I was like the camera was far more comfortable with that than people.
So talk to me about I'm looking at a strawberry chocolate balsamic vinegar. That sounds like a whole recipe for
Don't you see me do those
mama.
videos? And I go like this.
Yeah, I do see the videos. Me and Laura talk about these videos all the time because you're like, I'm like, are we really looking at the product?
Yeah, they're like, everyone's like, wait, what? What's your deal?
Talk about that.
Like, what are those bottles?
Yeah, talk about that.
So these are my two products that I really rolled out. The first ones I rolled out with. So I love them. Yeah. And I love this one. The chocolate strawberry balsamic is a dark Modena balsamic from Italy. Modena, Italy. And
I like the part about chocolate. That gets me in the mood.
Yeah, it's infused. Well, how about it's infused with French cacao powder, so it's real sexy. Very sexy chocolate. And then natural strawberry juice.
Trish is probably like, oh my God, I need extra money for this shit.
We lost him.
I know, he just disappeared.
He's like, I can't take
He left the room.
Sexy Chef is here. So yeah, this, I love it. It's a beautiful product. It's a little bit pricey, so it doesn't fly off the shelf.
What does that
cost?
It's
like $22. Okay.
But how much should someone use? Like we talk about.
Honestly, not a lot because it's very decadent and it's rich, but it's very high quality product. Whenever you use like people that use like high end olive oils will spend $25.
I know. And the funny thing is, this is a serving size, and no one can see me, but like I'm showing the tip of my finger there.
But his pinky isn't the size of everyone's, by the way. That's a supersized pinky. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Tristan,
and by the way, you should see our.
You probably should get a raise after this. Listen.
I'm being tame on the show today.
You don't have to be. Like, seriously.
I haven't dressed conservative. I know that this is conservative for me.
Listen, we didn't know what you were going to wear, Wendy, to be honest. I was like, when is Wendy going to show up there? I've seen some videos of you. I'm like, shit, don't tell me what she's going to wear.
Well, if I was on a Howard Stern show, I would definitely show up, a little bit more risque. But, so the hot sauce is a habanero, fermented habanero mash with key lime, garlic.
Okay. And what would you put these two products with? Where would you like put that? I know this is a salad, but what would you put this on? Well,
this isn't just a salad. Everyone always says a salad, but that's the last thing I think of.
What do you think of?
So I have a signature appetizer that I make.
Okay,
he's looking at me like God only knows what.
What's your signature appetizer?
This all over him. That's my signature appetizer.
This all over him.
So this is
the best. You're the best producer ever. Good job.
I take a ginger cracker.
Okay.
And put.
Is that like a redhead white person?
Yes. The ginger.
Sorry, Tristan. You're seeing the real Fit Over 40 show.
But if I said it, I would be in so much trouble.
No, I'm just asking. You said a ginger cracker. I'm just thinking it's
ginger.
Red. Okay.
So it's got a little spice, little kick, little ginger cracker, and a mint leaf, triple brie cheese, a slice of strawberry, and then I drizzle this over it. Wow. So you have as a chef, you know what
a man before.
Well, absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Who wouldn't?
I'm going to take another button down. I'm sorry here, Trish. Trish is our producer. We keep using his name just so you guys know. He's awesome. And he's probably turning red listening to this show.
He's left multiple times. I don't know where he went. He took the bottles and he ran away for a few minutes and then he came back. But fortunately, they are still closed, so that's good.
There we go.
But think about it. You're a chef. I mean, honestly, we've hit every sense there.
I will tell
spicy,
you 100%
sweet,
time.
creamy,
every time I have cooked for a
crunchy.
woman, it's a done deal.
it's a done deal.
Done deal. Now,
Exactly.
I'll just leave it at that. You can leave it to your imagination.
That's what I say to
It's
everyone.
a
If
done
you
deal.
will
When you
100%.
cook for a woman, you are closing that deal for
Yes,
sure.
I agree. And also, I tell the same thing. If I can definitely make somebody fall in love with my cooking. I mean, there's a lot of other ways I can make them fall in love, but for sure, my cooking.
Listen,
the
I'm
balsamic
over here,
is.
I'm sweating and it's hot and.
But it's.
This is Sexy Wendy.
If you heard the ingredients on this, you realize I hit everything.
Yes.
Spicy, sweet, creamy, crunchy.
So I saw a video of you and you had a husband and wife in your kitchen.
Yes, I do
And
that too.
Yeah, I do.
That's
I
another.
have
That's
seen your
another thing I
videos,
do.
and I love that. Like you bring that. Like couples get together and they work and they get in the hustle and bustle of the relationship of taking care of kids, and it's nice to see that you get them back into.
And don't you love the way I show up in the kitchen?
I do. I'm like, good God.
So I crack myself up.
This never happens to me, but
I crack myself up because I'm like, look at me standing in underwear and a bustier with this couple. Like it's funny as shit. Exactly. I mean, if you can't help, and I don't, and honestly, because I get along obviously with men and women, and the women don't feel those women they don't feel threatened. They love me because I say as soon as you get to know me, you understand where I'm coming from. This isn't because
you're not trying to take their man. Which,
no.
Who wants him anyway? He can't even
exactly. I go find someone else.
Yeah, find somebody who can really cook before you worry about that.
I know. I mean, I actually think it'd be cool to have a harem of men. That'd be awesome.
Really?
Yeah,
You're
that'd be fun.
Perfect, Wendy. Seriously, I love her.
It's no fair that guys have harems. The woman, I should be sitting like a queen with all the different guys around me. So.
This is the best shit ever.
So I love making women feel sexy. I love helping them feel that way.
Appreciate you for
and
that.
when they get around me, they do. Like I rub off on them. If she was around me for a couple weeks, she will be wearing shoes like me.
Could you take her?
She'll
for
be
a
wearing
few
shoes
weeks?
like me. She'll start smelling like me.
Could you get her some
All of a
heels
sudden, she'll
and
have
some
like false
bustier
lashes
and
on,
lingerie, and false lashes, whatever it takes. I don't care.
I have taken
kitchen.
women that you would never imagine that would do that. So I help them wrap their heads around it because it makes sense, And it's like, do you want your husband looking at those other women,
or do you want your husband to be looking at you? Right. Yeah. That's it.
And the men that I counsel or talk to me, they really do. They're really the guys that come. They're not looking to cheat on their wife. They want their wives to be. They
want their wives to be you.
But they want
100%
to be their wife. They're not looking like, how do I make her do this? How do I get her to do this? So that's his job too. So after you have a child, you don't feel so sexy because your body's been pretty stretched, and even the best of us, it just takes a while to get everything back. So it's you really need the man behind you to help you feel like a badass and sexy.
I don't want a man behind me. Just saying,
not you.
That just sounds.
You need a woman behind you. You need a woman in front of you, man. You need several women.
I need women in front of me.
Look at your shoes too. You're kind of styling. Look, our shoes are meeting down there.
I knew I was coming in to interview Sexy Chef. I had to be ready. I didn't know what you were going to wear, Wendy, because I've seen your videos and I'm like, wow.
Well, I have some lingerie on right now, but and
this is not even on video. It's terrible.
I'm much better on video.
I know. I've seen your videos. But it's funny because there's always the husband and he's like, trying to keep his composure.
I know.
He's looking at you, and then his wife is like, "Okay, I need to wear some lingerie and get in the mood."
You do. They do. And
that's so hot, though.
It's like I call myself a muse. I'll sit on the counter, and if you see the counter with the husband and wife, I think of myself as I dream a genie. Like this. And
remember,
here
she would go ding ding, and she would be on the counter.
Yes, and
exactly.
And then I like to talk people through cooking. I don't like to grab the knife and do it for them.
You make them do it.
Yes, because then they become engaged.
Behind her and hold the knife, and he's holding her hand.
Well, if you've seen some of the videos, you'll see I have them do all the work.
Yep.
I talk them through it.
Yep. I've seen.
Because
I'm a big fan,
they're part. Then they start talking, and I had the funniest assignment once.
Tell me.
This woman, I couldn't believe it. She asked me if she was having a first date at her house, of all things, cooking him dinner, and asked me to come.
Because that's like the type of chick I want to meet.
She wanted me to come and cook with them. So this guy shows up. He doesn't know who the hell I am. with a camera. I said, I'm going to bring in my camera crew for this one.
Oh my God.
I said, and I had them. They walk in. I said, you have to sign these,
release
forms. The guy doesn't know what he's signing.
He's like, I'm signing.
He has no idea what the hell's about to happen. For all he knows, this is like, Ron Jeremy's in the back. We're doing a porn.
He's going to pop out with a big.
What the hell's happening here? Oh, I think he's in jail now, so he can't come.
Yeah, he can't come out.
We'll invite someone else, a little more youthful. But he's like, this guy's like, what the heck? And so I just went into my thing, and I'm like, I'm Sexy Chef. And apparently you don't know who I am, but this is what I do.
This is what I do.
And, these guys had their first kiss on camera behind me.
They actually kissed?
They kissed, yeah. And they got really playful and frisky with each other.
That's awesome.
And it was fun. And he actually knew some things about cooking. And so we talked about that. And it's fun. It thrills me. I love it. I love watching people.
I do watch you, and I know that you get a response from the people that you work with, and it's good to see. I think we need that back, because couples just go in the kitchen, wait, what's for dinner? Oh, well, this, and we're going to make this, we're going to do that, and that's what they do.
If you have to lock the kids in the room, like put a padlock for a few hours, if you can't get a babysitter, put lots of food and water and phones. Don't torture them, but spend time together. Like, it's really important. It's so important, and it's hard. I know it is, and not everybody has like the budget to have sitters and all that stuff. So maybe a community, have like your friend. Can you watch, the kids tonight? And I'll watch yours, and really make the effort. Though you have to. If you don't,
people get comfortable in
it starts to be weak. Oh well, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month. I'll do it next year. And then you guys are like at two opposite ends of the table on your phones, not looking at each other.
Looking at the paper.
She's wearing mom jeans, and he's like talking to 20-year-olds. And then she gets pissed, and now she's with the trainer, and she's looking hot, and he's like, what happened? So instead of that, let's come together.
This woman. Do you know this? I love this woman.
I can tell. So that's a Sexy Chef. That's my whole thing. So my biggest vision would be that, to just really infiltrate more, get people more wrapped around that idea. And it's, I'm back new to Arizona. It's a little more conservative than LA.
Yeah, LA is not conservative at all.
And my audience range is vast. It's literally from like 20s to 60.
What do you want the vision for your restaurant to be?
Well, so I didn't do the drive-through because that would take a multi-million-dollar money raise for the drive-through. And I have not been a restaurateur. I've managed catering businesses. Done sit-down, 250 people. But it made more sense for me to go into I'm in a kitchen it's like a hybrid of a ghost kitchen. So it's Kitchen United Mix. It's on Scottsdale and Shea in Scottsdale. Mm-hmm. And it's right next to Bevmo, and it's a conglomerate of restaurants. So I have my own kitchen, my own restaurant inside of there.
Yeah.
But there's there's some pretty badass, very established restaurants in there.
Yeah.
They didn't take me at first when I reached out to them. They said I had to be established. So I went somewhere else for
that. You got to have views, you got to have followers.
No, I have followers, but as a restaurant, I'm not established. I have way more followers than most of those restaurants.
Right.
I do. I just didn't have a restaurant.
Sure.
So I said, well, if you change your mind, and I sent them my information, and sure enough, they contacted me 2 months later, and they asked me, and they also gave me a very good deal to get in, and I'm there with a lot of very well-known restaurateurs, and I'm new at being a restaurateur. It's fantastic. I love it. I'm glad I stepped in that way rather. It's like, don't try to be too big. You know what I mean? Like at first, like I already know my brand is big, but that doesn't mean that my restaurant's going to be like that because people don't know the restaurant.
Right.
So I have to be realistic and start from the ground up, just like everyone else.
So
that's where I'm right. I'm there now. You can come in. And you can order from all the restaurants on one tab, or you can order from me. It can be delivered. So it's like training wheels, basically.
Or do you have other chefs in there?
I have a chef.
Okay.
Yes. So I travel quite a bit and do a lot of different things. So yes, I have a chef. All the recipes are all handcrafted by me. The first few months, I had a chef in there, but I primarily did all the cooking.
So when can me and Laura come to your restaurant and give you a video review of your place?
I would love it anytime. And of course, it's on me.
Set that up.
It's on me. So
we'll come in and do that.
let me know ahead of time so I'm there. And I would love it.
Should we be in lingerie? That'd be a little weird. Me in lingerie. Yeah, listen, I'm not in lingerie. I just do not. Just terrible.
We have to do. We only do that in private studios and homes. Listen, you can't even imagine the poor guys in the Kitchen United. Here comes Sexy Chef running in. Half the time I'm videoing, I'm half dressed. They're like, "Is she really a chef?"
I know.
Fuck yeah, I'm a chef.
Yeah,
and I'm a badass chef.
Faces is the best part of your videos. Everyone comments like, "Look at this guy's face." He's like.
So I had this one female chef in there for a while, and I like to cook with woks. It's my favorite pan to
cooking
use.
Cause
I use it for everything.
Yeah, because you
literally
can do a lot
everything.
In a wok. Yeah, I agree with
that. So I had this massive wok, and she wrote on my little board, "Wendy has a big wok." Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that on my videos. I leave it in my kitchen.
Yes.
Wendy has a.
a big
my
wok.
chef said to one of the other chefs in the kitchen, this one dude, he just can't stand. He's like, I piss him off just because I'm Sexy Chef. He's an older guy and he's a sourpuss, and I always go, "Hey, how are you?" And I just like over the top nice. And I said, "Grouchy again today?" And I walked by. Apparently I wasn't there, but apparently my chef said, "Well, I'm sure my boss has a bigger wok than you have." And all of the guys, these are like 6'4" guys. They're all like crying, laughing. That's the fun about, you don't have to be serious to be a chef either. Like a serious human. You have to be a serious chef. Don't get me wrong. I'm a highly skilled chef.
My bloopers get more views than anything. Me grabbing something out without having mittens on and dropping it. Oh yeah, it's.
But I just try to have fun everywhere I go, and I know because I have a big social media presence. I know that people will recognize me, or they'll have like a certain idea. But again, the whole idea of Sexy Chef. If I was going to say one word, it's love. So and that's my logo. Look,
well,
it's
tell
a heart
everybody
with
where
a
to
bra
find
top.
you if they haven't already figured you out with your name, because everybody knows. All I got to do is say, "They're who you're interviewing this way." I'm like, "Sexy Chef." Oh, I know her. That's the blonde chick in the lingerie.
And the lingerie. What does she do?
Yeah, what does she
I love
do?
it on TikTok. Like, because I go live and they ask me questions, and my chef is in there in my kitchen, and he's like this close, like telling me what they're saying. Like, what do you do? I'm like, well, let's cook. You'll see that I cook. But the products are on. I just am switching my websites, but you go to sexychefwendy.com, or if you go on any of my social, I think I gave you guys my link. Did I give you my link tree?
Yeah, I think
Kitchen United Mix. I'm moving everything over. I'm revamping 100% sexychefwendy.com. I'm on Patreon. It's not X-rated either, by the way. People want it to be, but it's not.
Yeah.
I'd be a multi-millionaire.
You'd probably be rich if you did all that.
What am I
stuff.
thinking? Let's go do that.
Let's
Forget
go
this.
do that.
What was I thinking?
Exactly.
But anyway, so the products are there, and I do consulting, brand consulting. I also coach people. It's very private. I don't really go on social media about that a lot, but people reach out to me for that. I also work with couples.
Yeah, these gals have made fun of me because they're like, "Have you cooked with your shirt off, and have you been naked in the kitchen?" Like, yeah, they paid me a lot of money and I did it.
Yeah.
Because it made them happy. Who cares?
Well, and the people, I'll get asked that too. So I'm going to address that. I'll get asked.
Have you been naked in
yes,
kitchen?
I actually had Food Network. Food Network approached me with that about naked cooking. New York Times did a article on naked cooking, and of course they found me. I'm like, no, I don't. And honestly, most of the people that do the naked cooking, you don't really want to see them.
You don't want to see them. Yes, naked cooking with John B., whatever his name is. And this guy's like a wilderness guy.
Yeah, exactly. His beard is down to the floor and has never done a squat in his life. Need I say more? Right. Need I say more?
Exactly.
But people say, well, how much will you come and do private cook? And I do. I will in my lingerie, but I have a bodyguard and I have a sous chef. And it's my profession. It's what I do. So it's not. There's no monkey business. So I can weed people out quickly. But yes, I do that. But awesome. I have handlers. I call them. You can call him a handler. I'll sometimes call him my sous chef, but he's really my bodyguard. So I'm not. you have to protect yourself
Of
that
course.
way as well. But
I'm a guy, so I don't have to. I mean, I pretty much can handle myself. Some crazy woman.
you could take him down.
Take that knife out of his hand and I'll tackle him. Like
No, that's
you
not
as a
gonna
woman,
happen to
you'd
you.
have to deal with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's not going to happen to you. I mean,
So
my shoes might
100%.
be able to take someone
Yeah,
down.
you could
I could
actually
probably
stab
like take
somebody
him
with
out,
those
and I
stilettos.
can run pretty fast.
You should be working that
And I
whole
work out.
shoe game because your shoes are the bomb. You have the best shoes. Sometimes I'm not even looking at what you're promoting. I'm like,
what
where did she
shoes
get
today?
those shoes?
I know, like, so I have I have a shoe thing. You can tell,
Yes.
obviously. I always have, like, and I always want to find the most unusual and the most beautiful. And you know,
She's taking a picture.
the other
of the
thing
shoes,
is,
by the
I
way.
have to.
She is the best.
I was with my
shoe game.
investor, and we were in Vegas, and we were like looking at all these young girls wearing these like sandals or wedges, and I was like, I need to grab all of you and put you in a room, and we need to throw those shoes away. We need to burn them.
I know, 'cause
wedges.
some girls do not have good shoe game.
And flats?
and it's
No.
the worst.
Let's get rid of. Even in high school, I was wearing stilettos. So come on. I came out of my mother's womb in stilettos, for God's sakes. I mean, we are not going to wear these wedges. You know, but it's really it's a fun game, the sex game. You know, it is. It's fun, and food is sexy. Food entices all the same senses as sex.
I agree.
Smell, taste, touch.
I agree. Well, I appreciate you coming on and chatting with me. I've been wanting to do this forever, and
Me
so
too.
the first time I met Laura, she said, "Who do you want?" I said, "Sexy Chef Wendy," because
Aw.
she is the best.
Thank
And
you.
so this
You're
is
the
long term
best.
current. I appreciate that, and I apologize. I was a little emotional. Like I said, I lost a family member.
I know, and my heart goes to you, and I really appreciate you.
So
Doing this, and
again,
I send you
where
lots
can
of
people
love.
find you?
They can find
every video in the
everywhere.
world.
This, you know, Google Sexy Chef
Yeah,
Wendy.
Google Sexy
I tell
Chef
people, you want
Wendy.
to know how to find me?
Yeah,
It's really
just
easy.
Google. Yeah.
Every
Hot blonde
social
chick
media
on
outlet, I have my link tree that has everything. SexyChefWendy.com is where I'm moving.
And I apologize, Trisha, because he's a good man, and he's probably going to need prayers after this show.
Actually, I think this is a lot of fun for him.
Yeah, it might have been a lot of fun for him.
I mean, you know, you got to spice things up, right? You got to
Exactly.
spice it up. You got to keep things fun.
Well,
enjoy life, and be a
Laura's
good
going to
person.
reach out to you for a live video with us
Okay.
that we could do together and promote her restaurant and just see what she's doing. So we were all going to put that together. I have Laura reach out to you and do that.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's
So
a
exciting.
pleasure to meet
You
you.
are lovely. And
you're lovely as well. And I've seen you half naked, so it's kind of weird. I feel like a pervert. I've seen you with half your clothes on.
you're like, wait.
I appreciate you being dressed today. It's a little different.
A little bit.
You're
I'm not too dressed. I didn't want to overdress. You know, probably if you weighed this, it'd probably
Yeah.
weigh like an ounce.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in to Fit Over 40 with Coach Clarence. You can follow me on all platforms where you get your podcasts. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Just type in Fit Over 40 with Coach Clarence. You can also find me on YouTube at Coach Clarence TV. Like and subscribe so that you get all the videos as soon as we drop them. And last but not least, remember the golden rule. If you can't be good at it.